Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to the Home and Homestead. If you're new, I'm Rebecca. Today we're going to be doing some freeze drying. We're going to freeze dry bananas 3 ways. So we're going to prepare them in different ways, and once they come out of the freeze jar, we'll have 3 different ways that we can enjoy bananas for snacks or for treats and other recipes. And this video is part of a collaboration of Freeze Dried February. For more information on the collaboration, I'll have the full playlist in the description below the video. But you can also head over to the host channel, the Inquisitive Farmwife, where there'll be further information on weekly prizes during the Friday live sessions, as well as our grand prize at the end of the month for a free Harvest Right freeze dryer. We'll talk more about that later as well, but for now, let's head to the kitchen so you can make some freeze-dried bananas 3 ways. So the first thing that we want to do for preparing our freeze-dried bananas is select some nice, ripe and sweet bananas. So what you're looking for is bananas that are nice and yellow with some brown spots on them. I have 23 bananas here. I have a few more off to the side in case I need some more. This is what you're looking for the general appearance of your bananas that you're going to be freeze drying. You want them to be nice and sweet and how you would like to eat them if you were eating them fresh. So you don't want to get bananas that are too green. So here I have a bunch. They're much more green in color, and these would have more of a bitter taste to them. You want them to ripen and have yellow with some brown spots. So here I have my trays for my freeze dryer. I have a Harvest Right Medium Pro freeze dryer, so I have 5 trays. So you can either use your trays as they are, or you can also use some silicone mats. Here I have the Harvest Right silicone mats, and they work nicely when doing items that are maybe a little sticky, or you just want to have the ability to remove them a little bit easier once you're finished. So this is an optional accessory you can try for making some freeze-dried bananas. So now what we can do is head over to the freeze dryer and program in the settings, and we can come back and prepare bananas to be freeze-dried. So here I have my Harvest Right Medium Pro freeze dryer with the pump off to the right. So I'm going to show you the settings that you'll use for freeze drying your bananas 3 ways. If you have the Wi-Fi fob, like I have off to the right, you can also use the Harvest Right app and use the settings and program using the app. So let me show you the settings that we'll put into the freeze dryer. So to put in our settings, we're going to hit Custom. You can hit Reset, and that'll clear out whatever you did last. And we're going to start with the -10 initial freeze. With an extra freeze time, I'll do 2 hours. You can go 0 to 2 hours. I like to do that in case I don't happen to be around, and then at least it'll keep drying in case something needs to freeze dry a little bit longer. And then for drying temperature is at 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Drying mode is normal. And then you hit start. And now your freeze dryer, we're going to a preparation phase where it takes about 15 minutes. So we can head over and prepare our bananas 3 ways to be freeze dried. So I'm going to move these 2 trays for now, because in 3 of them I'm going to do sliced bananas. And for 1 tray I'm going to do a nice thinly sliced banana, so we'll have some more crispy banana chips, and those I'm going to slice to about 1/4 inch. So what you're going to want to do is peel your banana. You can just discard the peel and just cut them into about 1/4 inch slices. And then I'm going to lay them onto the tray evenly. You don't want to have overlap, so I'll probably just put 4 per row. We'll see how many we can fit onto our tray. An optional thing that you can do, you can create a dilute lemon and water mixture, doing 1/4 cup of lemon juice and 4 cups of water, and you can put your banana slices in there, and it'll help prevent browning. So you just put them into the lemon water mixture, pat them dry, and then put them onto your freeze dryer trays. I don't really find that to be a necessary step, so I'm not going to do that today, but you certainly can if you'd like. Now for the 2nd and 3rd trays, I'm going to do a little bit of a thicker sliced banana. I'm going to do closer to a 1/2 inch banana, and those we're going to prepare in a different way. So we'll have some crispy banana chips, 2 different varieties of a sweet little treat we'll make later, and then a 3rd way that we'll be preparing the bananas as well. So let me put some of these little bit thicker ones that I did. initially onto this tray. And I'll keep preparing our bananas here. Now that we have our sliced bananas ready to go, we have our thinly sliced and our little bit thicker sliced. I'll put them off to the side. We can do our third way of preparing the bananas, and we're going to mash them. So again, we'll peel the bananas and discard the peel. Get them into a mixing bowl here, and I'll just use a potato masher. You could also use a fork. We're going to mash them up. Then once we have it mashed, we're just going to spread it onto our freeze dryer tray in a nice even layer. All right, so we finished mashing our bananas, and it took about 4 bananas per tray. So we have our thinly sliced tray, 2 trays of thicker sliced bananas, so a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and then 2 trays of mashed. And that used up all 23 of the bananas that I had set aside for this project, just to give you an idea of how many you may need to purchase for doing 5 trays in 3 different ways. So now we can get these trays into the freeze dryer. All right, so the freeze dryer is all ready to have the bananas loaded in. So what we need to do is load the trays into the freeze dryer, close that drain valve, and then hit continue. So it's got the bananas loaded. And then we'll close the drain valve. Currently the drain valve is open, so the valve is parallel to the drain. In order to close it, we'll just turn that valve perpendicular. And now it's closed. So now we can just hit continue. Now the freeze dryer is going to do its thing. We can come back once this is finished. All right, the freeze dryer has finished, so I can open that drain valve and open the door in order to see if I need to add more dry time, or we can hit no defrost or defrost if everything looks good, and that'll finish the process. So what I'm going to do is open the drain valve to vent, and now I can open the door and have a closer look and see if everything looks like it's dry enough. And everything looks good. So now I can hit no defrost or defrost. I'll hit defrost. So we're just going to leave that drain valve open. We can remove our freeze-dried bananas, and then I'll hit continue, and the system will go through a defrost phase, and all the ice that has built up within the chamber will drain away through that drain valve. So I'll get the bananas out. And I'll hit continue. So now the freeze dryer is going to defrost itself. So let's go have a closer look at our freeze-dried bananas, done 3 ways. So here we have our freeze-dried bananas that we did 3 ways. So here we have the nice thin banana chips. These would be great for snacking. These banana slices are a little bit thicker here. I want to put these into a bowl and we'll do a little something extra for them to make a nice little treat. And then for the banana mash, I'm going to process this further as well. So let's get to work preparing our bananas for the different ways that we can enjoy them. I'll put the sliced bananas for snacking into a glass airtight container. There we go. It's a little bit thicker ones we'll get onto a platter. And now for this mashed banana, I'm going to put this into my little food processor here. We're going to create a banana powder. This will be great in smoothies or milkshakes. So let's put these in this mini prep food processor and just pulse it a few times. Then we have some nice banana powder. So I'll keep going through this mashed freeze-dried banana here and create our banana powder. All right, so we have about 5 cups of banana powder that I can put into a mason jar for storage. And now let's make the third way that we're going to prepare our freeze-dried bananas, and that's to make a chocolate-covered freeze-dried banana. So here we have the thicker sliced bananas that we freeze-dried. And I'm going to be using my Instant Pot here. I have the Instant Pot Mini, so it's a 3-quart. But you can use the 6 or 8, whatever you may have. And what I did was I filled the liner to about halfway point with water, and I set it to slow cooker and more. So that way the Instant Pot is going to heat up that water and create a consistent temperature with steam that'll be perfect for melting chocolate, for covering these bananas, and this works great for doing other chocolate covered candies and treats and things like that too. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you could also boil some water on a pot on your stovetop and just put a glass bowl on there and melt your chocolate that way. Or you could also melt your chocolate in batches using the microwave. Just do about 30 seconds at a time and keep stirring until you have a nice smooth consistency for coating your bananas. So I'm going to do Ghirardelli milk chocolate melting wafers and Ghirardelli dark chocolate melting wafers. So the Instant Pot has been heating on slow cook more for a few minutes now, and as you can see there's steam created on the bottom of this glass bowl. So I'm just going to add my melting wafers in here. We'll just give them a little stir. We'll allow the Instant Pot to melt our chocolate wafer so we can coat our freeze-dried bananas. Our milk chocolate melting wafers have melted now. So we can add some of these freeze-dried banana slices. I have some little tools that are part of a Wilton candy making toolkit. There's a little fork, there's a little strainer, a little straight tool that works nicely for sliding off of the fork. You could also use just a couple of forks. You just want to lightly coat the banana slice and then slide it onto a parchment paper lined baking pan or a cookie sheet. Now once our freeze-dried banana slices here are chocolate covered, they're not going to be as shelf stable as the other ways that we have prepared the bananas today. These are just meant to be a nice sweet treat we can enjoy. It's not meant to be a long-term food storage. I'm just going to continue to chocolate cover these banana slices. I'll do half with milk chocolate and the other half with dark chocolate. So I have a tray's worth and a few more of milk chocolate covered. So now what we're going to do is clean this bowl and I'll dry it really well. Then I can melt the dark chocolate wafers and do the rest of these banana slices with the dark chocolate coating. Now let's do some dark chocolate covered freeze-dried banana. And here we have a tray of some dark chocolate covered freeze-dried banana slices. So now what we're going to do is allow that chocolate to set up and harden, and once that happens, we can come back and have a closer look at our freeze-dried bananas 3 ways. All right guys, here we have our freeze-dried bananas 3 ways. So we were able to prepare bananas in 3 different ways and then freeze-dry them and then process them in different ways. So now we have some delicious sliced bananas, which would be great for just snacking on. You can also rehydrate them with water and then just let them sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then you can use those bananas how you would use a fresh banana that you sliced up either in baked goods, such as muffins and breads, or whatever else you would want to use your sliced bananas. And then we also sliced some bananas and freeze-dried them, but kept the slices a little bit thicker. And then those I covered with some chocolate. So now we have milk chocolate and dark chocolate covered freeze-dried bananas. These are really tasty little sweet treat. They're not meant to be stored for a long period of time, but they sure are delicious and a great way to enjoy some freeze-dried bananas as well. I have cut into the milk chocolate and dark chocolate freeze-dried banana here. The inside is nice and crispy and crunchy, and the outside has that great chocolate coating. And then to the far right, I have some freeze-dried banana powder. So this is wonderful for adding to smoothies or milkshakes, or even to add to some baked goods to get some great banana flavor, which is simply adding a spoonful or 2 to your recipe. Now for rehydrating the banana powder to create a banana mash, you simply would slowly mix in water until you get to the desired consistency, and then you could use that for baked goods and smoothies as well, or even for baby food. So whatever you'd use a mashed banana for, you could use this banana powder and just add enough water till you get to the thickness that you would like. So these are some great ways for enjoying and using bananas. So by simply preparing bananas in 3 different ways and freeze drying them and then processing them differently once they were freeze dried, we ended up with a delicious snack, sweet treat, and recipe staple, all from just simply using bananas. So if you enjoy freeze drying, or if you're interested in the process of freeze drying and would like to find out more information, I do have some links in the description below the video where you can find out more about the process. And this video is also part of a collaboration for Freeze Dried February. So I'll have links in there as well for this year's playlist. You'll have lots of different videos you can check out with tips and tricks and recipes and things that you can prepare using your freeze dryer. This year for Freeze Dried February, we're going to be having some live sessions on Fridays. So be sure to attend those on the host channel, The Inquisitive Farmwife. During those live sessions, you'll have a chance to win some prizes. I'll be contributing a Harvest Right 50-pack of oxygen absorbers, and there'll be some other great prizes as well. And at the end of the month, we'll have a grand prize of a free Harvest Right small freeze dryer. So I hope you enjoyed the collaboration of Freeze Dried February, and if you'd like some more ideas or inspiration on freeze drying, I do have a playlist on the topic, so be sure to check out those videos as well. So if you're new to the channel or haven't done so yet, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button below and continue to watch my channel, The Home and Homestead, for some more homemade, homegrown, and home style inspiration. But I hope that you're having a wonderful day. See you next time. Take care.